Valentine's Day was supposed to be about love. But for Adizwa, it became a night of betrayal and death. She thought the rich boy's gifts would bring her happiness. She was wrong. This is the story of Adizwa. A story that will remind you, not all that glitters is gold. Adizwa was a bright and kind-hearted girl, but her life was not easy. Her father had died when she was very young because of a terrible illness. Since then, her mother had worked day and night to take care of her. Adizwa was her only child, and her mother wanted her to have a better life. Adizwa loved going to school. She dreamed of one day going to university and becoming someone important. She wanted to make her mother proud and lift her family out of poverty. Her mother, though tired and worn, always encouraged her. Adizwa, she would say, education is the key to a better life. Work hard, and one day, you will shine like the stars. One day, a letter arrived at their small, mud brick house. Adizwa had been accepted into a prestigious university in the big city. Her mother cried tears of joy, but also worry. How would they afford it? But Adizwa's mother was determined. She sold their only cow, borrowed money from relatives, and even took on extra work to pay for her daughter's education. As Adizwa packed her few belongings, she hugged her mother tightly. "I will make you proud, Mama," she promised. With a heavy heart but hope in her eyes, Adizwa left her village for the city. The city was unlike anything Adizwa had ever seen. Tall buildings touched the sky, cars honked loudly, and people rushed everywhere. It was exciting but also overwhelming. Adizwa felt like a small fish in a big, noisy ocean. At the university, she met her roommate, Adbimp. Adbimp was rich, stylish, and confident. She wore beautiful clothes and had shiny jewelry. Adizwa felt shy and out of place next to her, but Adbimp was friendly and invited her to sit with her at lunch. Adizwa also met Adakunal, a kind and hardworking boy who came from a modest background like hers. Adakunal was studying to become an engineer. He was funny, smart, and always made Adizwa laugh. They quickly became close friends and started dating. But Adizwa couldn't shake the feeling that she didn't belong. The other students talked about things she didn't understand: fancy restaurants, expensive vacations, and designer clothes. Adbimp often teased her for being too village and encouraged her to live a little. Adizwa began to feel torn. She loved Adakunal, but she also wanted to fit in and be accepted by the rich students. Little did she know, this inner conflict would lead her down a dangerous path. One day, Adbimp introduced Adizwa to Emeka, a wealthy and handsome student. Emeka drove a fancy car and wore expensive clothes. He was charming and paid a lot of attention to Adizwa. He bought her gifts, a shiny necklace, a beautiful dress, and even a new phone. Adizwa had never received such things before. She felt special and important when she was with Emeka. Adbimp encouraged her to spend more time with him. "Adizwa, you deserve the best," she said. "Emeka can give you everything you've ever wanted." But Adakunal noticed the changes in Adizwa. "Why are you spending so much time with Emeka?" he asked one day. "He's not a good person. I've heard stories about him." Adizwa felt confused. She loved Adakunal, but Emeka's wealth and charm were hard to resist. She began to question her values and priorities. Should she stay with Adakunal, who loved her for who she was, or pursue Emeka, who could give her a life of luxury? As Valentine's Day approached, Adbimp convinced Adizwa to attend a lavish party hosted by Emeka. "It's going to be the event of the year," Adbimp said. "You can't miss it." Adakunal, on the other hand, planned a simple but heartfelt celebration for Adizwa. He cooked her favorite meal and bought her a small, handmade gift. But when Adizwa saw the gift, she felt embarrassed. It was nothing compared to the expensive things Emeka gave her. That night, Adizwa made a decision that would change her life forever. She told Adekunle she couldn't see him and went to Emeka's party instead. The party was dazzling. There was music, dancing, and so much food. But as the night went on, Emeka's behavior changed. He became possessive and controlling. He didn't want Adizwa talking to anyone else. She felt uneasy but didn't know how to leave. After the party, Emeka insisted on driving Adizwa home. But instead of taking her to the university, he drove to a secluded place. Adizwa's heart raced. "Where are we going?" she asked nervously. Emeka's face turned dark. "You think you're too good for me?" he growled. "You're just a village girl. I gave you everything, and this is how you repay me." Adizwa realized she was in danger. She tried to escape, but Emeka grabbed her. In a fit of rage, he hurt her badly. Adizwa's last thoughts were of her mother and Adekunle. She wished she had stayed true to herself. Under the cold moonlight, Adizwa's lifeless body lay still. The romantic night had turned into a nightmare. The news of Adizwa's death shocked everyone. Adekunle was heartbroken. He blamed himself for not protecting her. Adizwa's mother was devastated. She couldn't understand how her bright, beautiful daughter was gone. Emeka was arrested, but because of his wealth and connections, he escaped severe punishment. Adbinth, consumed by guilt, confessed her role in pressuring Adizwa. She left the university, haunted by what had happened. Years later, an elder in Adizwa's village gathered the children around a fire. "Let me tell you the story of Adizwa," he began. He spoke of her dreams, her struggles, and the choices that led to her tragic end. "Adizwa's story teaches us an important lesson," the elder said. "Greed and the desire for material things can lead to destruction. True happiness comes from love, integrity, and staying true to yourself." The children listened quietly, their hearts heavy with the lesson. Adizwa's story became a folktale, passed down from generation to generation, reminding everyone to value what truly matters. True happiness and love cannot be bought with money or gifts. Stay true to yourself and never let greed or pressure lead you astray.